We're going to be kicking it off hot here in the grand finals. Haven, first map of the series, and it's going to go in the way. I think we picked it, Shopify Rebellion. Going into this, Athena, I mean, these two teams, we've talked about this match so much. FlyQuest bringing out the comp we've got to see before, but still so much fun with the Phoenix. It was kind of a roller coaster at some points, though.
Yeah, for sure. It was actually so fun to watch how intricate and dynamic both these teams were. Both were being super aggressive when they needed to be, being really, really proactive, taking a lot of map control, trying to get as much information around the map, and at the end of the day, also just fragging out from so many players, so many clutches. I think the biggest thing that stood out to me was the util usage from both these teams to make this game so close.
A couple of the little set plays as well that these teams were able to put together, especially Shopify when you're looking at getting these last couple of rounds, was so much fun. Although there was definitely a point in time where I didn't necessarily think the scoreline would be as close as it was, but really being able to see the series change and adapt was just a great way to be kicking off.
Yeah, I think the first half of the match, and I'm not even talking about like the actual in-game rounds half, that sort of thing. I'm just talking about the game states as it was defined by the Cypher players actually, and how each team was trying to approach those players, right? I think Starbound was the first kill multiple times in the first 5 rounds for Shopify, and then all of a sudden they're the ones anchoring. And when it comes to the attack side, they were absolutely doing the exact same thing that Noya was, right? They were finding so many open lurks. You saw in the highlights there how many important battles were fought in C-Link. And that's not somewhere where you normally are seeing the amount of flanks going on in that. We had like 5+ rounds end because of situations that occurred right there. But the other half was definitely individual performances topped off and paired up with some fantastic util and calls from the IGLs.
I actually feel like exactly what you said. Also in the second half of the round, Starbound just abusing the rotations and abusing the timing so many rounds brought them back into what we thought was going to be a super quick game or a super one-sided game. So 100% agree with you there. I think the rotations and the lurking from both sides really played into it, but it also played into how both these teams had their play styles going into it. No one just like, I think Shopify had the higher extent of just sending it with an execute on their attack side, but both teams still prioritized their map control first, which I thought was super, super cool to watch, especially knowing that both teams are kind of like, you know, chilling, playing it just a tiny bit slower, setting up their trap plays and setting up their util because they know that this is the grand finals.
I mean, to see a map that came down to how it was for the first map was just a great time. And it was something, too, that one team would start to get a little bit of momentum, and then the other would pick it back, Paula. Looking back at a couple of these earlier rounds, talking about this shift that happened as well.
Yeah, right away, I think in the second half, right, you had this pistol round where you've had some fantastic retakes going on, but you have this play right here. Floor paired the shock with the dart coming in, the aftershock, the stun. Right before that, you have Sarah with 2 fantastic shock dart kills. And then Floor, right off this, peeks garage with a guardian. Like, what are you talking about? Gets this on these eco frags for sure, but this sort of thing for a player like Floor is exactly what gets Shopify into the game real early here. And you'll see again, obviously the quick flank from the Neon, really, really good, trapping these players up in here. This is not too crazy, but what I'm looking at here is a shift with these last couple of rounds that we're watching here, and the amount of APM that Floor requires to get it, they get hot, right? Look at this. Instantly down. Again, the relay bolt, the aftershock coming in, the triple push coming in A. It's exactly the sort of thing that you were talking about, Athena, about the really, really good calls and structure being placed there by Shopify.
And that was their bonus round. I mean, they literally did all that. They had that set play ready for their bonus, and that actually brought them again into that next round to have the other team on a thrifty, which I think is just like so good. And it just shows that how close Shopify are to kind of mastering their gameplay in a way where they use this comp for a reason. They're actually utilizing all their util. They're actually playing this comp to their strengths. They're setting up the plays, they're setting up the util, they're setting up the timings, and everything just based off of one person's contact. So yeah, super high props for Shopify for sending it with this comp.
And there's quite a few people across the board. The entire team deserves props. But when you're talking about that shift of momentum, you got to talk more about Floor. Because Floor for the first part of the game, definitely wasn't having a bad game. But from what we get to see, we got to see everything. Whereas the pop-off that we started seeing later on, it's just, first off, Floor on a Neon, amazing to watch Athena. It's always just absolute zoomer stuff. I love it. But some of these plays, like, FlyQuest didn't have a response. If it was Floor still alive, well, round's a little scary.
I mean, the thing with Floor is that they can kind of do it all, right? They can entry, they can take aggressive defensive control, they can lurk, they can flank, and every single time that she did manage to get into those spots, she absolutely took so much advantage, got the frags, got the kills. I mean, we know Floor as this superstar power fragger, and she just showed us in this game how much it is. Like, beyond just fighting against FlyQuest, it's also fighting against the second best team in North America and fighting against Dodonut, who's also considered the second best duelist in North America. So it goes to show how much impact Floor actually has during this game.
We've had a couple of discussions so far on the desk when we've been watching Shopify here about Floor and how Shopify has been molding her into playing some of these agents, the more abusable agents, I guess you could say. Obviously, she's been a Jet star in the past, but now adding Neon, Yoru might be upcoming. You know, these sorts of agents are agents with a high skill cap, one that is not easy to attain. And I think when you think about players who would really push the Neon tool set and skill set to its maximum, you actually do think of Floor up there, along with people like Jogamo, the people who are super active with their movements. And you see it right there. You absolutely do. It's so difficult as Dodonut in that game to keep up.
Yeah, and you're talking about a Yoru potentially upcoming here. His next map of the series is going to be Ascent. Being able to see both these teams in the past, Shopify being able to lean into this Yoru. FlyQuest Red an attempt to slow down Sonder on the deadlock here, Athena. And now this is FlyQuest map pick too.
Yeah, the double senties for both these teams makes a lot of sense. However, this Yoru is going to be super important for Floor because they're going to need to be able to get a lot of the information in order to make the right calls and get those first picks. We saw a couple times throughout this event that the Yoru didn't really work out that well because they didn't have enough space to take on a site when they're ready to execute because they don't have any of those movement agents other than Yoru and his ult. But it still might work out because Shopify, they just showed us that as a team, when they have this comp set in stone, they play a lot around traps. They play a lot around how they want to set up the team for those frags and for those kind of crossfires. But for FlyQuest, we've seen Donut pop off on this Jet before. I'm looking to see this aggressive operator going crazy. I'm looking to see a lot of these operator shots going crazy. So I don't know. This one is up in the air. Personally, I like the Jet pick over the Yoru.
I'm just looking for a FlyQuest Red to go crazy here. Try and tie up this series and try and make sure they can match that momentum. But it's time to get underway with Ascent. Time to head back over to your casters, Ender and Mimi.
Thanks very much, Sierra. Yes, we're in for a treat with these comps. The last time these teams played on Ascent, it was the last GC finals. It was vanilla as could be. Default comps across the board. Shopify crushed FlyQuest 13-6, but now completely different ballgame with the double Senti.
Yeah, it's so different. But for FlyQuest, they literally played against this exact composition yesterday in the hands of YFP. They came away with a big win. The only difference, the Yoru for the Jet, which honestly, I really love the Yoru on this map with these comps. But ultimately, it was Dodonut that went completely insane yesterday. 32 kills, 10 deaths on this map of Ascent.
Considered the second best in GC for a reason. Fighting to try and show that maybe she could be the best, but overtaking Floor always going to be difficult. It's a full walk up towards B main, but a lot of utility awaiting on this site. Trip from the Cypher, Sonic Sensor, Keeper, and Lexus with a wall to zone off her little safe haven in
Smoke's coming in
Boathouse.
too.
He has a lot of support here. Diving over the wall, though. Ev has gotten ahead of it. That's an open kill for FlyQuest. And now Shopify Rebellion have a bit of a tough retake ahead of them.
Now, FlyQuest don't have any control over main. They don't even have someone boosted up onto lane, so Shopify aren't going to run into too much resistance. The problem, though, are the trips and the stuns of these double senties.
And the one-ways, too. There's a lot of utility keeping them out. Noya, though, she doesn't give a damn. Swings straight through, goes 1 for 1, but the rest of her team not into the site yet. One-way fading. 2 players from lane swing together. That's a dink on the Boathouse player, but they need a lot more. That's 1. Sonder dancing around, needs to deal with the stairs player, and they succeed in that to win out the round. Good pistol for FlyQuest.
Yeah, honestly, we saw yesterday FlyQuest come out of the gate and struggle a lot in their earlier rounds. They got shut down by YFP's mid-aggression more often than not, and then Jovi called a timeout, and all they did after that was run execs, and those were wildly effective. So already on pistol round, yeah, it's pistol round, so things might change a little bit, but we'll see if they continue with this similar style of just hard execing a lot, which you'd think would be really hard into the double senties, but as long as those senties aren't stacked up with their utility on the same site, it's not as concerning as you might imagine.
And this round is the exact opposite. No senti utility, but a camera to watch FlyQuest run in and claim their free A site.
Yeah, there's even a crouch nade put in tree, so no one can come running out of that smoke. Nothing for Noy to do back there, but eventually take it out? I don't know.
And you were talking about this on the pistol. This is where this comp gets real scary. Walls up, sonic sensors in, tripwires even placed at your feet. It is so brutal to deal with all of that utility when you're facing against the timer on the spike.
Actually, a defensive smoke just to let Shopify drop down into hell here. Ev's crept around this with the Stinger, though, and I think it's about to be a meat grinder as they come down into the smoke. Shopify get a whole lot of kills, but at the end of the day, Noya now faced off against players on both sides of her. Dart spotting her out. Players running around like absolute mad. She's getting the kills, but she can't quite finish the deal. And that will be a very chaotic second round win for FlyQuest.
But a very expensive round for FlyQuest. All 5 players falling in that one. And we were talking about this last game. They're not a team that likes taking risks with their economy. They're going to be fully down on Sheriffs in this one, and that's a big advantage in this round 3 for Shopify.
Yeah, a bit frustrating. It'll be hard to punish the light armor buys that Shopify went for with a couple of pistols themselves. As a matter of fact, Floor reading the situation goes for round 3 outlaw, which I really like the decision on this one here. Floor plays a lot around this mid space, whether it's creeping up into bottom mid, just looking for a fight before TPing out, or here, not being spotted by the drone. It doesn't reach far enough, so now Floor has a little bit more time left with that teleport. She wants to look for something.
Shock darts in, but they didn't find the sonic sensor, and nor did they deal with the wall. Alexis doesn't really want to take a duel here, instead just keeping them at bay with her utility as Floor wraps around and gets a kill. All these players very nicely cordoned off.
We're seriously still fighting this angle. That's a little bit ridiculous. And honestly, FlyQuest pistol work has been pretty excellent. They even have a plant on the A site now.
This round has suddenly gotten very worrisome. Right in here, Starbound, that's a freebie. So numbers back, but these are 2 rifles now in the 3v2.
Paranoia to play with as well.
A flash, though, from Noya. That'll come quite late into this round. She's arriving now.
No one's looking at it.
1 flash from Floor. That'll buy attention. Then Noya will activate her lurk. She's out. 1 kill picked up. Dodo low on health, but not cleared. Now a 1v2 dash procced, but Floor holding the angle. And the Outlaws are 1 shot there.
Yeah, quick little upgrade there for Floor as well. Can switch over to the Phantom and get things back on track for Shopify. FlyQuest are going to remember this, and I think from the VODs they've seen of Shopify on this map, they'll know that Floor gets super active around bottom mid. It doesn't matter if you smoke that. There can always be a pop flash coming out there, or Floor just hanging out in that space. it's actually pretty annoying to dislodge a Yoru, right? Like, if a Jet's playing bottom mid, it's really hard to stick around there for an extended period of time after you're known because you can't dash the full distance out of there. You need smokes to cover your escape, but Floor on the Yoru, as long as there's a teleport set up, she can hang out there for as long as her heart desires.
Net into mid, flash combined,
And
spam
Odin
off
done.
it. No one was
Yeah,
there.
the spam would come in if the dart pinged, but it's a slight variation on a pretty common play there.
Yeah,
Using the
classic,
deadlock net to set up for that kill, though.
Leviathan kind of play.
Some say Leviathan, some say Teddy Tactics.
In many ways, the Leviathan of Game Changers.
Not
I've
really.
heard that.
Nice opener, though, from Starbound. Not sure if Mel's judge is going to be correctly dealt with, though. If she's shooting through that smoke, perhaps. Surely FlyQuest don't exec into the judge, right? You just get straight out of there.
They are all grouping up, though. Hat
They have
thrown
a hat.
from Starbound. That should shoo Mel away, push her back from this smoke. All the way back
Floor
onto
just
the side.
TP'd out. The guys.
Floor's all the way at A. Don't worry, there's a clone. It's gone. And now Mel is in some deep trouble backside, but they're not heading for her. Instead, Fly run into spawn, and Floor holds the line. 3 kills. It's just despotic what she can do. And now they're going straight into the judge. This round should be cooked. A classic for Mel, and that's how she wins it. I've witnessed a crime on the B site. And there are 2 culprits.
All part of the plan, I suppose. Fluorescent TP's off of the B site. Little did we know she's still anchoring it just from spawn. I mean, gosh, FlyQuest, the initial fight worked for them just because I guess Sarah was face checking the smoke, but the limitation is you don't have a flash, so they go dry slinging into spawn after getting what they came for initially. And that just goes horribly, horribly wrong.
Floor isn't slowing down. Another outlaw purchased.
It's interesting, though, because this is exactly what YFP was doing to FlyQuest in mid. That was abusing them. A lot of those mid plays towards tiles. That's a new wrinkle on it. Starbound's going to want this round back.
It was just the sheriffs, but still a tough way to go that early on. And look at Noya. No respect shown.
But the thing is, because you have one less piece of initiator utility, right? You don't have the KO dart, whether you're throwing that cat or tiles for some spam, some flashes to keep fighting deeper. Apart from just lurking into the space in mid and using omen smokes to cut down the gap, it's really hard to seize that space if a defender is fighting aggressively for it, which Shopify are. Noya got that kill in main, walked fully into tiles, and shuts down that late lurk or that rotate from Fly.
Do you think the double Sensi mirror skews it more defensive-sided than normal?
I would say so, yeah. But really, it just skews it to whoever's holding a site wins, right? Because
Be that
I
attack
think
or defense.
Yeah, if you're an attacker and you get your deadlock util down in a post plant, like, good luck making it back in. I think the biggest problem in this double Senti mirror matchup is the Yoru pick. Because Yoru clone completely nullifies everything you're trying to do. Not only does it eat up a Cypher tripwire, but it also makes the noise required to prime a sonic sensor. So whenever you're doubling down on that util in chokes, one clone can instantly ruin that. Or you can just TP past it entirely. So I think it's just a lot harder for FlyQuest to play because of that one ability. And that's definitely going to be a problem for them if they're not finding ways to either bait out that clone or kill Floor early in rounds.
And unfortunately for FlyQuest, their clone is Dodo Nut playing on the Jet. She's the one who's had to entry into these sites. They're really trying, Evis, to get the right shock darts to deal with that utility early.
Yeah.
But SR's done a really good job of varying their setups and in a lot of these rounds, Dodo's getting caught by a stun, picked off on the entry, and then Shopify are snowballing.
And look, jet knives are cool. They can get you a lot of kills, but Floor can also press ult and then ping on map where all of the Sentinel utility is, where all of the players are as well. So it's frustrating, that's for sure. But FlyQuest, again, they beat this comp yesterday, and they beat it because Dodonut was an absolute beast in the server.
But most of that performance came on the defense. To get there, They're going to need at least a few more round wins on this attacking side, and this one is a great opportunity. 2 big ultimates online. If someone is spotted out of position, Sonder has the Annihilation ready.
There's also going to be a fast TP from Floor. Actually, it just times out, so now is the window to abuse for Fly.
A dart off contact for Sarah.
The problem is Jet's in mid, so I don't think they're actually doing anything. They're just waiting for a jump peek, waiting for Shopify to do a bit of trolling. And
That
a bit
net
of trolling
goes
would
down
be
in a minute.
this deadlock wall. That deadlock wall
Yeah.
is a bit of trolling.
They can walk out. They'll choose to break it anyway. Alexis backside. Ult coming in for Sarah. Connects to tag, no kill, Annihilation. Cannot find anyone. Alexis dukes it out. She's alive amid the chaos. Going 1-for-1 is more than you could have ever hoped for that soul side anchor. 4v4 on the retake. Sonder has the plant.
And now FlyQuest bunker themselves inside. They have 2 sensors they need to put down quickly, because Shopify, look at Floor, she's on the move.
And she spots out the player in main. Paranoia being held by the Omen. That'll get sent in as Sarah finds a spam onto Sonder. Bring up for Dodo. Big kill. The FlyQuest player still trapped on this side, and the Omen locked away and gone. That's the down floor. The widest swing you've ever seen. Not a matter for her. Starbound in the dark cover. A diving floor. Mel sticking on this spike halfway. She's not stopping. Mel is sticking. And Noya defends.
Just a ridiculous round there. What just happened? Floor is ulting into main, getting the kill there, running and getting headshots.
Chrissy, that was a floor round.
Let's just appreciate it. First of all, Alexis getting this kill is just insane.
1 enemy remaining.
And then, okay, no, it was not safe to show on stream. We weren't going to show those kills again from Floor. That wide swing would send fear into the eyes of anyone watching.
Defensive operator on the Yoru.
Get out of my way.
Shopify didn't op at all on Haven. Now the first chance they get, Floor's ready to go with that one. I really dig taking the passive op lines too. Check it out. Top right heaven. That's where Floor is posted.
Swing in as that exec is coming through.
Yeah, make them come to you. I mean, there's a camera too that'll spot them coming around the corner. Floor can set it up off of that as well.
Stunned Paranoia. Dodo stuck in this corner. Mel deals with the threat, escapes. And the op now activated. 1-2 switch up, and Shopify get a double to start this round.
Yeah, FlyQuest, they're still going up into heaven though. Floor ready for this. Smoked in right on that smoke. It's another one. The bodies keep coming and they keep on hitting the floor. Finally, Sonder, the last one, netted up. Nowhere to go. Shopify get yet another. And we'll be able to recoverate that up.
Recoverate?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Good for that.
That's the word.
Still though, I mean, that bait and switch setup was so nice from Shopify. Having
Literally.
Mel swing out with the Util combo off the trap play, and then
And
having
it's all
another
off the Cypher
wrinkle.
cam, by the way.
Yeah.
Noya was in that Cypher cam, saw players in tree, that's what Mel got the first kill off of. Saw the player in main, that's what Floor got the second kill off of.
So many layers to the Shopify defense. For the second game in a row, it's a pistol round win to Fly, and then 5 on the trot for Shopify repelling it. Last game, this was Fly's chance. Let's see if it is again. Wall up. Mel flying in front of it and tagged out by the Hunter Siri. She'll live on, see another day, fight another enemy in main as she'll teleport back. Thea wants to try and get
Serious
through
damage.
that smoke, and IGL on IGL. It's the attacker dead. No chance for FlyQuest on A.
No smokes either, so re-clearing mid. Gonna be a bit terrifying. See most players just deciding to rotate back in through spawn. That op could have moved to just about anywhere at this point.
B is
The
the
only
weak
way-
side.
Yeah, the only way FlyQuest can play this round is by contacting into angles. They have no smokes to work with, so make some presence in mid or B and hope that Starbound's able to find something with the audio players rotating off of A.
Drone spots one in mid. Trip broken. Cam spots out one. And an Omen ult to support Noya. Now 2 players anchoring on B. And with 25 seconds,
Look at Spawn! Look at Spawn!
They need the fight, and Floor has the better angle. A flash through. FlyQuest stuck out in the open. They can't see a damn thing. The Odin's holding them back, and the time has ticked too far. Spike on the floor, shock in their face. This one's over.
Can Floor hear me? Like, what's happening? She instantly just snapped on a 90-degree angle, gets the kill. Just was a bit of a knower there. Right? Those anchors from Shopify, they're calling, hey, they're not playing into sight. Carry your spawn. Instant kill.
It does seem like a really risky play to try and go for a spawn fight with 25 seconds. I don't see the out there. Even if you get these kills, do you even have time to run to edge?
No, I think they would have gone back into B. The problem is they didn't want to take that fight immediately because of the Omen ult, right? So there's 2 players on that site. That's not going to be an easy one. They're thinking we're down in numbers. We can get this free pick on the players rotating spawn. Then play the rest of the round, but yeah, that is 6 in a row.
And FlyQuest, not in the best financial situation. A hero rifle for Starbound. A Guardian for their duelist. And another look from Shopify, this time aggressive. Floor's walked into main. Hello. They is dead.
No smokes again. 2 rounds in a row. The first player to fall.
Across the map!
You killed A main, and then 2 seconds later, you kill B main?
Floor's in the walls. She's everywhere.
Floor's
She's gonna get a kill mid, isn't she?
Omnipresent, omniscient. She knows where you are, and she'll be there too.
Ev, don't do it. Floor's just holding this one. They'll leave.
Portal closed.
Throw a wall in spawn. Rotate back towards A. Look who's here. Deadlock set up with sonic sensors. Mel with the paranoia. There's just no in.
Working on their leg day there, trying to make it upstairs.
It's Floor again. She's always in the right spot.
Triple net, by the way.
And a shorty for Floor. There's one. Around the corner. Oh, picked up again. Floor flicks. Can't find the shot, though. And Dodo, okay. 15 seconds needed that kill, though. And the opportunity slips her by.
10 seconds left.
10 seconds left to get the plant and try and find some success. Mel will walk through, and the time, it's gone.
This is a shellacking. The last time these
7
teams faced off on Ascent, it wasn't really close either.
I cannot believe Floor gets a kill. A main, TP's B, gets a kill B main, repositions Cat, gets a kill Catwalk.
Here.
Always in the right place. Attack Cypher up. It's a new one.
I mean, I guess you gotta fight fire with fire. It's a slow contact game with these comps, and you need something that can one-shot Floor, because Floor will not give you a second chance. That's a great opener, and look at that, Donut into the site as well. Mel hiding in her own smoke. That's so interesting. Hanging out in that one, and it's gonna force FlyQuest over into the Cypher setup.
And that trip was not broken by the first shock. Sarah's now arrived. Floor's on her way too. They might have waited too long on this one. Into the site and immediately dead. There's no chance for FlyQuest. The Scythe operator just can't get out of that one.
And you know what? There's good news and there's bad news for FlyQuest, right?
Okay.
The good news is Starbound hit some nice shots with the op. That could be the answer for them. That could be what they need.
Bad news.
The bad news is they'll never have the money to buy another op this half.
Yeah, they're not really getting the trickle-down economics from SR.
No. There's nothing trickling in the fly camp.
15-6 on Floor. Another Yoru ult online. And another operator too. She'll post up in mid.
Throwback to round 3. I think they ran that one. This time without the net.
Sensor destroyed.
Wall into main. Cypher's caught in a bit of a prison on the left side there.
The term is 35 seconds to life.
And Starbound kills the guard. Mel's dead. Unfortunately, they're still trapped here. Gonna have to go through basically every last bullet on that sheriff to get out of this one. Oh, and Alexis is actually just gonna let them escape. No, still stuck in the corner. Goodbye, Sonder. The ult is shut down. Floor will go in for more. I think that's a tag through the wall. And here comes the ult. One spotted, pings through for Alexis, and she'll follow up off the information. Only 1 for 1. Gun recovered. Just a sheriff for Floor. I think dropping that operator. Does she need any more? How's she done that? A 180 turn, a shot through the wall, and they alone. The IGL's been clutch, but not against this team.
Is Floor playing a final right now, or is she just playing for fun? Literally, on the last round of Haven, Floor dropped her gun and played out the rest with the sheriff, and she just did the same exact thing. Like, it's a headshot to the wall.
She's also headshotting at the operator. Okay.
Like,
Okay.
what? Ping, reveal, insta 180. Doesn't even hesitate.
And by the way, that's not like a Sova reveal that is going to move with the player. That is a Cypher reveal that is a one-time outline where you only have like a second to get the kill before the player
Look,
moves.
it's a new take on neural theft, where Floor just takes the head of the player that's revealed.
Okay. She's pretty good, I reckon. There's the raid boss. Spotted
That's
in main.
Haven all over again.
She's got support. Last time a stun, this time a net. The effect is all the same. Floor up, swing back in. Gets a tag as well.
Yeah, drop the op,
A
Floor.
run away from Floor. What else are you going to do at this point? Dodo spotted.
Oh, no.
Alexis calls trouble too and just peeks away at the last remaining pieces of FlyQuest. Okay, there's a
You'll
chance.
take the kills you can get, and it's a 3-on-3 all of a sudden.
Winnable.
Hold on, double sensors, there's a deadlock wall in the post. Wait, this is winnable. A paranoia too? Floor goes on a bit of a mission there to switch over to a Vandal, but getting past those stuns in Heaven is just the nastiest thing ever.
They're gonna have to spend some time breaking this wall. That'll allow Mel to work the flank.
What?
No one's
They're just
holding it
getting
right
kills.
now. Floor's just running around and has broken all of the utility at this point, bar one
Mel
sensor.
on the flank.
Mel activating. There's the swing. Thea Starbound, both 1 HP. Down goes Starbound. Sonder trying to take a fight. Shorty up! Floor dives forward, gets the kill. Thea, another clutch, another chance, a teleport. Mel sticking halfway. Thea holds her nerve. A swing into the smoke. Time ticking down. Mel gets the kill, but there's not enough time. Thea, time after time, comes up huge for FlyQuest.
Thea's just always good for it. I don't know. Like, these rounds go from completely unwinnable to somehow Thea putting up a masterclass and making it happen. I mean, this is still such a long way away. The 12th round, the only rifle round that FlyQuest were able to win. It is still a long shot at best for Fly, but Thea's certainly kept them in it.
But they're gonna need to win this pistol if they want a smidgen of a chance to win this one.
Come into the unknown.
Dodo only dropped 4 in the first half. Now the defense jet is going to have to come alive to make something happen.
Trap playing A main.
Thea smokes herself in to dodge the dart.
They don't know about her. Paranoia, swing, but no one's receiving, and Thea is taken care of. A lovely setup.
Such a great job of baiting out these plays without overextending. Now the wall comes down to slow down and allow the rotate to come on through. It's evening up. FlyQuest have 3 players on site, a 4th coming into Heaven. And Shopify, even after the advantage, are forced
Paranoia,
away.
though. Chance for a timing. Everyone is behind that door and the net. Actually, from her team, is there a gap to get through that one? Maybe.
I think there is. Maybe with a little jump up. It's hard to tell on minimap. But you can certainly hear all of the footsteps. Okay, that's 1 rotate, 2, 3.
Come
Does
back, eh?
Noya know about the Sova, though? That's the question.
Sofa's sitting towards spawn still. FlyQuest know about that deadlock wall. They're not even going to consider a walk-up cat, and it'll fall.
Ooh.
Saunders spots the player's main, both very low here, and that's a high-low setup. Noya, though, whiffing needs these shots and finds him eventually behind, though. Ev deals with the problem and closes out the round.
Okay. Between Thea clutching up round 12 and now the second pistol victory, FlyQuest can certainly make a go of things here. I'm really interested to see. I think the best option for FlyQuest is to save and make sure you can have an op in the next round. That would be the difference maker, but the way they're buying, they're leaving nothing to chance. They know how dangerous Shopify can be, even on pistols.
But Shopify didn't get the plant, and they're only going to commit into 1 Sheriff bot.
We're doing a bit of orb maxing here. Grab A main, TP out. And I think we're going all the way around the world for B main as well.
That they are.
Insightful.
True. Ares ready to spam.
Can always count on you. Yeah, off that camera contact, that's gnarly.
Fly have some of their own traps up their sleeve.
Yo, Saunders just got headshot dinked or something. I don't know. He's on 24 HP. The counter spam for
Okay.
Noya! Respect!
The Sheriff wins that against the LMG. All right. That's fine. Surely nothing more will come of this one. Starbound is holding Saunders. Walks into sight. They double up. Off of the spam from the deadlock. Starbound swings in, 2 of their own, and okay. No funny
Very
business this time.
I mean, good news already, though, in the first 2 rounds. Like, the hard anchors of Starbound and Sonder found a lot of kills. Sonder got a bunch back on that pistol round. You can see just 1 off of the deadlock ult. That's about as good as you can ask for heading into round 3. Just a lineup spam on that one.
Going into
still,
this bonus round, though.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous for Dodo Nut, though. Whether or not she's going to be able to find any of these angles into mid. I think it's really important for her confidence that she finds some kind of a 1v1, sit someone down early on in this half, get that energy, get that mojo back.
Number 5 and 13 for the star player from FlyQuest. And no one in
Completely
mid.
islanded. No one going to help her. But she's going for a creep with this drone out. It sees 1 player, and they get the pick over on A. Dodo with the crunch down. Now it just means FlyQuest are running away with this.
3 players in main left. Is there going to be a star to step up for Shopify? More can be the one. Clone's good. That sets Sarah up for a kill. Dodo Nut. You were talking about her needing to heat up, and this is her chance, her round to do so. Has the hero rifle, dashes into sight. Defense onto Starbound is good.
Sonder caught one.
2, and that's a player in jail. Sarah's being dragged away, and that's the spike. Yoinked all the way into market. Noya spots ahead. Can't get it. And that's FlyQuest winning the bonus round. And after losing every single rifle round, except the last in the first half, they've won a pistol and a bonus to find themselves straight back in this game.
I mean, it is looking eerily similar to Haven, right? Shopify get out to a big early lead. FlyQuest start battling back in the second half. They weren't able to close on Haven, but I think with the momentum they have now, getting this Ascent win just on the board would be so massive for FlyQuest. Otherwise, it's reverse sweep territory, and no one does that against Shopify.
No.
Team Liquid found that out firsthand last year.
Yes, they did. You win Ascent, you go into Icebox, which is Shopify's pick, but it's a map that FlyQuest are very comfortable on. We've seen them look quite good there. A real chance to turn the tide of this series. Shopify walking up mid, though. And they're ahead of their wall here. Drone forward spots these players. Paranoia's great, and they get nothing for it. Althea has to TP past this wall, and Floor's there, ahead of the angle. It's fallen to bits yet again. Chances opened up.
It's just too overeager. They keep fighting up here, this time on the eco, but Dodo gets the 2K to bring FlyQuest right back into this.
Drone
Only
for
one
Ev.
rifle for Shopify on site.
In the hands of Mel. Looking for her 11th title. Noya. It's the Sheriff again.
Player standing.
And again! Noya just does not slow down. Mel there to swing for the final round, and Shopify Rebellion. 10 rounds to their name. It's just a repeat of Haven. A chance for FlyQuest. An overcook. I mean, it's what we saw in their last series, too. A bit of an overcook on an anti-eco. They lose out. The momentum swings away. And that might be Ascent slipping through their fingers.
Putting down the deadlock wall in main and pushing out in front of it. This is a comp that thrives on bunkering down into sites.
I'll find them.
But you give Noya a chance, she has been doing disturbing things. Today, this map, this tournament, she is absolutely online.
Scanning ahead.
Your world's out B. Spots the util setup, sees the Sova in spawn, and full clears this site. Shopify make it out safely.
Look at Dodonut again, always pushing out mid for these quick flanks.
Is Noya ready for it, though?
Yes.
Spike planted.
But not ready enough. Dodo wins the fight. She'll regroup with the team and retake. But again, this utility is such a problem. Sonic sensors, a wall in spawn, a net ready to go. Wall's going to come down in a second. There's still the remainder of those tools to work with, and that timer is already starting to dwindle.
And Melon main is going to be a problem. She's netted up, though. Nowhere to go.
Annihilation grabs a player in spawn. They're freed. But that dart again! Sarah's Sova utility is just on point in these late rounds. And Heroding's fam might win out this round. Towards lane, 3 players trying to trundle with their way through, and they get the kills. And there's time. Or is there?
I don't think so.
It's close. Dodo does not have it. 0.8 away. And Shopify hit 11.
Just heartbreaking for FlyQuest. The anti-eco slips through their fingers, then they win. An almost impossible retake, but with too little time. They had to deal with walls, everything. So much to push back through. Sarah Sova again. Ridiculous stall with another ping there. But it's just too little too late. And now it feels there's just too much work left to be done in this game.
Scanning
You
ahead.
felt the momentum building back in for FlyQuest. And it has been suck right out of this game again.
That it has. Look at Shopify anti-aggro setup from B main too. A tripwire, endosensor, and the camera. They know FlyQuest are getting antsy. They know FlyQuest are getting over-eager. And even with the tag on Tanoia, they're going to get pushed back completely. You can't do anything there with the counter spam coming through.
It just reeks of desperation to me. We're playing a double Sensi comp. We have a complete lockdown on the A site, and they're going for these aggressive plays that are just getting punished now 2 rounds in a row. Sonder is out of this round. They're going into the stack. Sure, they're going into the utility, but how much can Starbound really do? Dodo behind. It's only 1 for 1.
There's another coming in.
Combines another flanker. Dead. Fluorescent navigates that situation with poise. Map point Shopify.
It's so impressive, right? Floor sitting at 21 and 12, but FlyQuest are continually throwing new challenges at Shopify. They're trying to make the rounds as chaotic as possible. I mean, when was the last round Fly weren't pushing up or weren't flanking quickly? It just hasn't happened every single round. And you can say that's FlyQuest doing too much here. And that's exactly what Shopify are saying. right? Shutting it down time after time. You just can't beat this team, it doesn't seem.
It feels like they're doing too much now. That's getting punished, but I don't know if they can beat Shopify if it gets down to just a good, honest game on this map. Because as we have seen all through Ascent, Shopify is so apt at picking apart these trap plays, at dealing with every piece of utility, and setting up winning late rounds.
Jovi calls his last time out of the game. We've got 3 Vandals and a Bulldog, it looks like to me. But either way,
Stingers on top.
Yeah, it's like Sonder could buy a bigger gun, but then maybe you're dropping... Oh, actually, it gets dropped. I think Thea just dropped that gun to Sonder. I was going to say Sonder would have to give up some utility to buy something real. And that's what Ev is doing, for example. No drone over there for the Sova. Not the worst buy I've ever seen.
A more aggressive sensor this time for Sonder.
Odo's still living down here.
TP for
Good play.
Floor.
The shots!
Oh, she whiffs. And that's the chance squandered. Floor gets the opening kill for the nth time this series.
Oh.
And add some disrespect on top of it.
But that's my concern for Dodo. Like, I'm not even looking at this map anymore. This one's wrapped, folks. But Dodo has to be firing on all cylinders if FlyQuest have a chance of winning the series.
It's Icebox next. She needs to remember the player she is to keep chances alive. On Ascent, though, only 2 left standing. Floor ready to put the dagger in this one. A flank through, Starbound dead. And Ev, the rookie player, with way too much to do. Floor spins around, and there's no more disrespectful way for it to end than a 180 shot from Fluorescent.
And Mimi,
Unreal.
as much as things change, they stay the same, right? Completely brand new comps, new players, Ev joining the server, but it is still the exact same story as last year or last stage's finals. It's a 13-6 on Ascent. Right back to that.
This is the 13th time Mel and Alexis have been in a GC NA final, and, well, 11 times before they've won. Let's see if they can make it a 12th, or if FlyQuest can recover when we return from the break.
Red Bull gives you wings. The human body was built to move. Not trapped at a desk in one singular posture for 12 hours a day. It's time your chair evolved. This is Secretlab Titan Evo. Ergonomically engineered for you. Gamers, hybrid workers, artists. Backing your every move.
1, 2, 3. Wow. Boom. What?